Satisfactory Update 8 has made everything incredibly dark. So today I wanted to show you 10 easy to build blueprints that will allow you to quickly light up your factories in style in preparation for when Update 8 hits. We do have a lot of lights to get through. We're starting off with these ceiling lights like these ones, and I'm going to demonstrate them inside this little box that we have here as an example and build them in this blueprint designer. So the first one that we're going to be doing is going to be using these large billboards. They're going to be 2 foundations long, and what we're going to do is just first of all grab our foundations and we're going to build them up to about this height. We're going to place 2 foundations above us, and then from here we're going to grab ourselves a beam and we're going to run this across the center, and then we're going to hold down shift and then turn these 90 degrees. There we go. And we're going to place that down. From here, we're going to grab ourselves a large billboard and we're going to place that on top. And as you can see, that's going to fill out the 2 foundations above. So we can then delete them. If you want, you can also delete the pillar there. And with all of these signs, we're going to just change the color. We're going to remove the background, remove the text, turn the emission up, and then change it to a color that we like. I'm going to stick with white most likely for the majority of these, just because it's a good example piece. And if we just remove one of these, you can see how easy it is to place. What I've done with this is I've built into a floor of foundations, and so we have a foundation above, and then from here we can grab our blueprint and paste it. One thing that I should mention with Update 8 currently is that if you are using the blueprint designer with signs, they are going to show up as black. All you need to do is press E on them, open that up and close it, and it should go back to the original setting. And you can see this adds a lot of light in a small space. But if you're looking at a smaller area, perhaps you want to use some other ceiling lights that we've developed. The concept for the next one is the same as the previous one. It's actually this strip lighting that we've designed here. This is really simple. Once again, all you're going to do is place a beam across, but you need to make sure that you turn this 90 degrees so that it is once again on the flat side. If you don't do this, you'll notice that the orientation of the sign isn't quite right. So here you have it horizontally, here you have it, I don't really want to say vertically, but you get the point. We changed the vertices. So at this point, we're going to be placing our signs in increments of 1 sign on, 1 sign off, like so. And then we're going to do the same system again, clearing out the item, the object, and the text, and then changing the background color. But I'm just going to copy it from here. And this gives you a really easy light to add, which works much better on lower ceilings. Here is a little bit high, but we're going to show you how it looks regardless. And we'll place it along this section here. And there you go. Another really easy blueprint for lighting. Now I know not all of you like using the beams, as you can see here. So the next one is, again, even simpler. We're just going to delete what we've already got. Let me just remove these. And we're going to save it as this. This means that if you have a particularly low floor, like a manifold floor, where you have all of your resources running along, then this can be perfect for that, as it's not going to take up much room at all. And I think this is a pretty good example of this light in use. One thing that I should mention is that with the signs now in Update 8, there is like a kill distance. So after so much distance, you won't be able to see the lights lighting up the area. That it has been added because of how the LOD system worked in Update 7, and with lots of players having problems with having lots of signs in their save, causing lots of issues. So they've implemented that. I just hope that they give us eventually a way of choosing the distance that the signs light up for us, whether that's a greater distance that we're able to see them, or even a shorter distance just for our particular machines, because I would love to see the lighting much further along in my factory. Anyway, let's head to the next one. Again, taking inspiration from the lighting that we've already done, we've got this one here. This is a one-off light, and we've added the beam connector here just to make it look supported in our factories. So if you have an area that's perhaps much more enclosed and you're trying to get a feel without overdoing the lights, having one of these could be really simple. The way in which we built this, again, is just like the others. You're going to place your beam, you're going to place a horizontal one, which is going to be 90 degrees rotated, and then from here you're going to add your sign to that. We're then going to drag the beams, and from there you have your single mounted light, as you can see in here. I've also added a third one, and that one is lit orange, just to give it a little bit more atmosphere. Whilst we're on the subject of this one, another one that we can do is a form of strip lighting. Obviously with strip lighting it's pretty simple. You're going to take the same technique, grab the thinner sides and then add them like so. But we can do a support similar to what we've just done by finding the middle of the sign, adding the support piece, the connector, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. In fact, you really don't need to, because what we can do is just snap signs to one another so that they get into the right position. And here you go, another type, and if you want it to look a little bit more industrial, you can also play around with the metal beams rather than the painted ones that I often use. In my opinion, these can work really well as little walkway lights, highlighting the various areas. And as we move on to the next one, which I'll just show you here, this is actually using lighting. This is the only one that we have that uses the original lights. What I will mention is that all of these blueprints are available on my Patreon. Of course, we're showing you how to do them. They're super easy to do here, but if you want to save yourself time and get access to all of our blueprints across all of our builds, then do check out my Patreon page. The link is below. To give you a demonstration with this one, let me just connect the lights. These should turn on. Oh. Would help if we had that selected. And from here, it's a double light system. You may have seen this being used in some of our previous builds for train lines. I love having these running along parallel tracks, but they're also super easy to build. So I'll just break it down here really quickly. You have your single power pole. This is important because it means that when you have your lights, the power is going to be taken from this middle section, which you can run to the floor beneath you without it looking messy. It also adds symmetry to your lights. So here you can see we have added our first light, and that's facing into the power pole. We're going to then connect that up, and then we'll do the same on the other side, facing into the light. And it gives us this wonderfully symmetrical light. Of course, it isn't showing one of the lights working at the moment, though they both are. The next one that I wanted to talk about is going to be on the floor. But what this does is allow you to get some uplighting. This can be really great at highlighting various factory parts. I wouldn't recommend uplighting for lighting a whole factory, but I do find it's a great way to add detail to your factory. As you can see what we've done here with the green uplighting against the constructors. This particular light, again, is really easy to do once you know how, and we're going to take the same approach as before. We're going to rotate the pillar 90 degrees, and from here we're going to place the lights on top. You can extend this however long you want, And we're going to add our lighting. And there you go, that is done. The other one that we have for up lighting, which is more lighting for the side of a building, though you could use it for lighting up a factory line, I guess. Let's place it here as reference, is this here. And you will see that this adds a lot of light to an area, especially when we add it to an outer wall. And we're going to start by placing our pillars down. You want these horizontally against the floor, so hold Control when you're placing these. And then we're going to grab ourselves a beam. Again, the same technique, we're using the beams in order to angle our lights, our signs. And it's going to want to be about there. From here, add your larger signs. And then we're going to add some metal beams just to make it feel a little bit more connected. We'll delete the middle section so we don't get that horrible Z fighting. And then we also do the same on the top as well, in whichever position you like. Following the same suit as before, we're going to be placing down our pillar like so, and then grabbing our lights. Can be a little bit difficult to do on here, so you may have to lift it up, unfortunately. From here, you can add some lighting, and I feel this works perfectly when you're trying to light up a walkway. But what if you're trying to run something along the factory line? Well, we have my favorite one as well, which I will just show you here, which is this one. It is much more industrial looking and works fantastically along your factory lines. This system is really easy to build once you know how. So we're going to jump back over to the Blueprint Designer. For this one, we're going to start by placing down some road barriers. Next, grab yourself some metal beams. We're going to run them across the side, and then we're going to also place metal beams heading vertically at 4-meter intervals. Next, grab a small square. It's this one here, the 0.51. We're going to, if you see here, you can only place it above or below. So we're going to place one and then snap the other sign below, which gives us this. I've done this on both sides so that depending on where we place these, it can light up the factory as well. And then from here, we're going to light it up to a particular color that we want. I tend to use orange. I think it works really well for this. And there you go, another light design that has an industrial feel about it. And hopefully, once you've done that, you'll be able to partner them with your build to create some really interesting scenes. Guys, it's just a quick video, very much on the huff because I'm getting ready to travel and wanted to get a video prepared for you guys. But guys, if you did like it, please do hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like me to do some more videos like this on lighting blueprints, do let me know in the comments below. But guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to our amazing patrons, most notably our Socialise patrons James Owen, Firefless, and Trebor, as well as our Lunars, the Calamity, Ben, Star, Shoku the Emin Wolf, and that Dude W, as well as our Blood Moon of the day, which today is the Salchan Husky. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.